Okay.
All right.
To all you, hold on, Tom. I got something to say here.
All right.
To all you Monday to Friday mother fathers out there, you need to. We can see the stats. We know you're listening. Aaron, this excludes you. You're a nice boy. We need you to follow us on Twitter already because we know you're listening. I mean, the stats show. I mean, we're getting plays. And Tom's mom can only listen to so many of these things. So _ reminiscent FM. Isn't that, unless you need a refresher on how it's spelled, Tom, can you rattle off letter for letter what the Twitter handle is? For the kind folks at home. Not even the kind folks at home. These monkey fighting Monday to Friday mother fathers out there for going by the AMC, swear rules for cable TV if you say motherfucker. We're trying to keep it light there, but it really...
It's too angry.
I'm TO'd and PO'd, to be quite frank with you. These GDMFers out here making the blood boil, and we're trying to have honest conversations out here with the American folk, the GD folks, and the mother fathers of the Monday to Fridayers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't want to exclude any listeners that listen from their Saturday morning cubicles.
Well, no, actually, if you ever see Snakes on a Plane, when they play it on cable, the famous line is, "I am tired of these Monkey to Friday snakes on this mother-father plane," or something like that. These mother-father snakes. And so that's like the AMC Blur rules is what I was abiding by there.
Okay.
But then I ended up swearing anyhow, so... It was probably just confusing. Anyway, could you follow us on Twitter, please? And we want to talk to you. We want to see who's listening. And if you are, in fact, rabid fans of the band The Monkees, and if you reside in San Diego, and whether or not you like the band, or you're just a David Jones enthusiast, or if you like the show, because some of those Screen Gem Network shows are really gems. I'm more of a Samantha guy as opposed to a Genie person myself. If we're going to go down that route, I Dream of Genie versus Bewitched. You know, there's a lot of good old shows out there. But I think, Tom, that's about it. We don't need a parade. We can get into the show. What do you say?
Yeah, longest intro ever. I'm into it. So what's up, man? How have you been? Other than, obviously, you've been dwelling on that for a while. You've been waiting to say that for quite a bit.
No, well, yeah. Actually, right before we recorded, we were like, we should switch it up. So it's like, I mean, I'll try something. But really, we want to talk to you guys. _ reminiscent FM. But yeah, this week's show, let's see, we're fresh off the New Year's episode. No, actually.
No, yeah.
We're fresh off of the
road
gallant
trip.
tale of our road trip, ill-advised road trip in high school. You named that episode with monkey in the title, like the band The Monkees, like we have been, thinking we could play on the search engine optimization thing, but it didn't work this last time. I thought we should have named it like a Friends episode. You know how Friends are episodes like the one where Ross kisses Rachel, or the one with the duck and the goose or whatever. I thought it would have been nice to say the one where they're actually reminiscent, because it was the first time we actually dwelled, I think, on anything at all.
At length, anyway. At great length.
Yeah, true. We might name drop random old friends that nobody will care to hear about, or at least know who they are. Yeah, so we found a nice groove there, and but I'm all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm just tired, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I think, as I told you, a little update on my personal situation, which I've touched on an episode-to-episode basis. Jesse has a few interviews with Cincinnati TV stations coming up. Doesn't look like anything's going to open up in Cleveland. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's looking that way.
Oh, you know what?
So,
sorry. Yeah, I just totally spaced. You're in Cleveland, and she's interviewing in Cincinnati. They're not really that close, are they?
No, it's 3.5 hours.
Oh, dude. You gonna let that happen?
I don't know. Yeah. I'd rather... She's willing to come as close as possible. You know what I mean? It's not like she doesn't want to come to Cleveland. There are just no jobs.
Yeah, no,
And Cleveland
definitely
is...
feel that.
Cincy's pretty rad, actually, all things considered. They got a cool zoo. It's on like a river. They got a nice brewery scene like all cities do. They're not slouching in any of the areas most cities that are trying to make a comeback are. It's got a bad part, but so does Cleveland. And, if she's willing to come this far for me, I'd be willing to scoot down to that part of the state for her. It means a little more distance, but I think we're both at a point where we want to say that's small potatoes compared to we have more stuff on the list of things we want to accomplish type vibe,
Yeah, I feel you.
Which is kind of exciting,
Does that, so you guys are you still on a contract basis with your job? I know when you went to Albuquerque, you had 3 years, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's new. Apparently the web people at my current job didn't have contracts before. So I don't know if it was the new manager that implemented that. Anyway, my company's got a station in Cincy, so there's like an outside chance I could transfer down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. If you're, she's coming down there a few months after you started your contract in Cleveland.
Yeah, so we'd have another calendar year of distance at worst case.
Right.
I would definitely ask them to just let me leave early and just see what I got in response. You know what I mean? Because I really have nothing to lose at that point.
Right.
It's nothing against them. I just, look, man, I heard a story about a guy who got to leave early because his wife moved or something. Jessie isn't my wife, granted, but we'll just see.
Wow.
And I could transfer. Until then, I'm just excited to not be flying all the time. It's really been hurting the budget. My air mattress popped, and this is the second round of car troubles. So, it'll be nice to sleep on a bed again. And it'll be nice to get the car fixed pretty soon. I'm kind of rebounding. I got a few more, one last flight to Albuquerque in March to help her move. And that I kind of wanted to be there to help her drive across the state border and kind of leave it in the dust,
Right.
Nothing against New Mexico, nothing against Albuquerque. Just time for a new chapter, and it'll be exciting for the both of us, I think. So,
yeah. Wow.
And although I feel like kind of a dingus. I was looking at like cots online, and like nice cots are like $60, not too awful. But then I looked at what just mattresses instead of like a bed set,
Right. Yeah.
And that's only like $76-$80. So I'm like, you
don't want to do that.
I'm a GD fool, Tom. I'm the fool. I apologize to calling everyone names at the beginning. I'm the one who is a dunce, and I will wear the dunce cap. Were this a single room schoolhouse in the early 17 or 1800s?
Well, I'll tell you, man, a mattress is something you don't want to go that cheap on. I have bought 3 in my life.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I think if I go nice cot and I can afford that, then I'll at least have something for guests, an extra guest in future homes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I guess so. We're kind of shopping for a nice futon for the recording studio, which will be the guest room when people are over. But the nicest one we found from IKEA is like $450. It's like, my God, you can buy a mattress.
Wait, for what?
For a futon.
Oh, screw that, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Spring for the pull-out couch or something.
We had one. We moved it from Virginia, to Colorado. We moved it into the house once. Moved it back when we, I told the story about having to move out like within 24 hours of moving in, and we couldn't get it into this place, so we gave it away on the new like Facebook Marketplace. Someone came by in like an hour and took it. They're just so heavy, man. I can't do it. But yeah, man, definitely if you're gonna get a mattress, obviously $80 isn't getting put out too much, but I bought like when I first got like one of my first places in Virginia, I went down to Mattress Warehouse and I walked by all the really nice mattresses I would have liked, and I told them my budget, and they kind of took me into like the back room where they kept the mattresses they were like embarrassed of, and I spent like $250 for like a mattress and a box spring set, and the thing was unusable within a year. Like it sunk so badly into the middle.
Oh, okay. So I might as well just go for the cot or something.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I ended up spending like $600 on a slightly better mattress. And then when I moved in,
$600 I don't have.
Well, no, this is I know. This is the rest of the story though. So I bought this mattress. It was like $580.
Tom, are you even listening to me? God?
All right, so it was like $580, and my roommate Shane at the time moved out of our apartment that I was living in. Yes. So he moved out. I wasn't on the lease. I was kind of secretly living there. And when I applied for the lease, I was denied because they said I didn't make enough money, but I'd been paying for 6 months before that. Anyway, Megan already had a bed, so I sold mine on Craigslist for like $150. And it was an almost brand new, like $600 mattress.
So somebody made off like a god bandit.
I know, and I even delivered it to them, man. That's like I just needed it out of there. So I would check.
I've been trying to look at Craigslist for that shit too. There is no magical cheap $600 mattress that somebody's willing to deliver all the time.
Right, I know. But Facebook, I don't know if you've checked out the Facebook Marketplace. Much better than Craigslist. I'm
very interested immediately in what that is. What is it?
I mean, when's the last time you updated your phone?
I don't know. Is it on the app, the Facebook app?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't use it very much. That app.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook all day for work, so I just when I get home, I got no time for that.
I know, I feel you. Well, if you press like the middle icon on the bottom, it looks like there's like a little awning, like a cute little corner store, and people just sell everything, like really nice $200 couch, Beats headphones for $100. Look at this. Oh my God. A queen mattress for $150, less than 2 years old, mattress box spring and frame. Great mattress, number one doctor rated.
What?
Yeah, one of the first things that came up when I looked at Facebook, it's a queen mattress for $150. It's a thick pillow top. Mattress box spring and frame.
Okay. I think for the sake of the listener at home, we can agree that that's a great deal, and the Facebook Marketplace is worth checking out.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Because they haven't followed us on Twitter yet, I want you to continue reading what comes with that beautiful set. Just to punish them, those mother, father, monkey to Fridayers.
The only thing that's left is it says you need to provide your own transportation.
You were already done, pretty much.
But the good thing about Facebook Marketplace is you can just you send them a Facebook message and you can see their profile and stuff. And the crowd tends to be like of
not
higher
as
quality. Right.
I feel you.
So I'd recommend it. I've bought and sold a bunch of stuff already since it came out. I haven't even been on Craigslist since that showed up on the app.
Nice. Okay.
So
well,
look for a nice mattress, man. You can do it.
All right. You're right. I got to buck up and just be because I mean, I think that's really, my shoulders and my neck and I just, between walking to work every day and stuff, I could use a good night's sleep for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Other than that, things are going. I'm pretty excited about Jesse getting these interviews. I mean, obviously Cleveland would have been nice, but I mean, she seems like she's interested in like doing a plan with us as the protagonist as opposed to each one of us on two different trajectories. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's kind of new. And that's pretty nice.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
And it's not that scary, which is also pretty nice.
How long have you been together?
In February. Next month it'll be 3 years.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, we've been dating for like a while.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. 3 years sound like when it was 2, it didn't feel like that much, but 3 is like a lot.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Megan and I are at 3.5 right now.
Whoa.
Or was it 4.5?
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Don't let her hear this. Am I right, fellas? Am I right? And how about when you're trying to go get something to eat and you ask your woman, what do you want to eat? And they're like, I don't know, pick anything. And then everything you pick, they turn down. Am I right, fellas? Am I right?
Oh.
Fellas, you know when you're with your girl.
Oh my gosh. So, do you hear that?
What?
It's the pipes upstairs.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, that's you dragging this podcast off the rails like you do every fucking episode. I was like, Tom, you've never really flamed me like that before, but that would have been like with the sound. Wait, bro, do you hear that? That's the sound of you fucking up everything I've tried to build over the last 6 months. Do you know how many hours of podcasts I've listened to just to try to launch this fucking thing?
Dude, it won't
Quick
stop.
segue. The Space Guys started.
I'm sorry, dude. I can't. The listeners will just have to put up with it. There's just the loudest squealing happening in my apartment.
I don't
right
hear
now.
it. I don't hear it.
Well, we're talking over Skype. Of course, you're not going to hear it. But when I put compression on this thing, it's going to be so
is it the
loud,
compression?
and it just won't stop.
It's the compression.
It's the compression.
Do you think it'll be that does it? The compression.
So
No, but yeah, I was looking to plug the NASA show real quick because we're kind of the facilitator show of the network, as people have come to probably understand. And if they're not just disappointed Monkeys fans listening to us out of spite at this point, you know, the NASA show. What's it called?
It's called Ad Astra.
So this is the show number 2 on Elemental FM that has launched.
Well, no, it hasn't launched yet. It's in the pre-production phases. Finally, the 2 hosts, Jack and Newton, they purchased the required equipment. We have the graphic designer coming along nicely with the vector art, and they record. So they recorded their first show just without saying anything to me about it, and it was kind of a surprise. I was really excited, but there were some things I wanted to make them aware of to make sure that it was good quality and make sure that everything happens that needs to happen. And so they sent me this show, and I think one of the guys must have accidentally recorded on his laptop microphone. So the sound is pretty bad, and I think you can either hear if he has a spinning disc hard drive or maybe a fan. There's like a really loud, like low frequency rumbling throughout the whole thing. And I had to message him today and just be like, let's call it a practice run. It's yeah, but they were really understanding, and you know, like I told him, it's like,
well, they went renegade like a motherfucker. It sounds like, but I like that spirit, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's really.
I mean, he took an Instagram, Jack did, and he had a T-shirt that said "Colonize Mars," or maybe it was a hat.
Yeah.
These guys don't. I mean, they might talk about space, but they sound like some freaking renegades to me, dude. They're not just going to wait for your permission to talk about what they're passionate about. You're not their freaking puppet master.
Their whole thing's on space policy, and right now we're in a presidential transition. So, like, if there's a time to launch this show, it's right now. And I also had to tell them that it's going to be a couple months. Like, we need, you know, right now, dude, the pipes are still just squealing. I'm sorry, listeners. It's probably distracting. But I told him, you know, the other 2 shows have to launch at the same time.
I'm sorry for laughing. I'm thinking about you going, hey, Pat, what's that noise? I'm not going to let you ruin my shot, man. You're out of the band, man.
But yeah, anyway,
wouldn't be the first time.
It was we had to do three practice runs before we had something we wanted to put out, and
that was like, I mean, we weren't even sure we had one we wanted to put out anyhow.
Right, we just kind of
figured out the audio sound part.
Right, and I feel like we take turns having issues. Like last week, my microphone was buzzing. The week before that, yours was, and you know, I do audio. That's like what I do. So I just told them, like, look, man, I still have issues. Like, we had a lot of issues before we started. So like, I don't want you to feel discouraged, and I'm not trying to like call you out. Like, I'm just trying to work with you guys, make sure everything's great. And they took it well. I'm kind of bummed out. I'm still going to edit it for them just for posterity, you know, so they can hear it. But yeah, it's coming along. I'm really, really excited. And it seems like Kyle and Kylie are gearing up to at least start buying the equipment so they can start pre-production and hopefully have a launch sometime in March. How
many episodes will they have by March?
I want to launch with at least 3 each. Because when I kind of uploaded our first 3 in a batch, it helped download numbers, and that's what helps out with ratings, like your number of downloads, but also the velocity of them. So it's not just 1,000 at once and then none for the next week. You want to have like a steady stream. So she has like close to 50,000 followers on Instagram right now. So I'm hoping that a couple mentions of that will get all the shows some good attention. We're working on there's a space policy like summit coming up that Jack is going to get in touch with the I guess the event coordinator of that to try to have some like affiliate advertising on that, use this code to get this % off and we get a small cut or whatever. So
wow,
there's been a lot going on.
Sounds exciting.
It's
not to mention you had that job interview last week.
I did.
And just to think, when we started this little experiment,
right?
You had just moved.
I just moved. I think.
And in 8 excruciating weeks, you Elon Musk called you he let you call him Pop, and you sat on his lap, and he's going to let you embrace the energy from the sun.
Yes, and he put me in his phone as Golden Child, and that's what he calls me now. The son he never had, even though he had 5.
Thank you, Pop. I shall harness the power of the sun, Pop,
yep.
like our forefathers foretold.
Did they?
And damn that Thomas Edison. He was overcompensating for a tiny peepee, and Nikola Tesla is my grandpapa. And that's actually kind of a nice side story in the movie Prestige. The one about magic.
I don't know.
Yeah, actually, if you read or if you watch that movie Prestige, I'm not going to give away the spoiler, but when Hugh Jackman's character tries to do Christian Bale's trick, he consults Nikola Tesla fictionally in this movie, or at least, yeah, pretty sure. Anyway, but in real life, Nikola Tesla, was something I didn't know before I saw the movie. He was like, also had a pretty good switcher or whatever the heck, right around the time. And Thomas Edison obviously gets credited with like doing the whole electricity thing, but Nikola Tesla was kind of like, Edison, you're being such a wiener to me, dude. Like, come on, dude. I respect the freaking hustle, but like, I'm like better than you, and this is dumb. So, anyway, I think that's a little bit of the backstory behind the dude behind the name of the company that you have come to call Pop.
Right. I haven't even told you about the interview yet, have I?
I don't think so. No, we last recorded when you were getting ready. You were pressing your suit and whatnot.
Oh, that's right. It was like the night
you
before.
You were going to walk into FedEx with a razor and be like, pay me this much or I'm fucking out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
Well, that night, right after we recorded, you sent me the file and I was editing till like 4 a.m. I woke up around 7 to finish editing so it could be published by noon.
Can I just say, God, Tom.
What?
I know you wanted to get it out by noon, but you had an interview that day.
It was the best interview that has ever been had. Not just by me, but by anyone.
Oh, that's a pretty bold fucking claim, dude.
Yeah.
But I'm anxious to hear you back it up.
Well, every other time I've interviewed for like a couple, I don't know if you want to call them white collar, but like some office jobs of sorts. And I've went in just saying like, man, I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to be myself. Right.
And in last episode, we established that was kind of dumb.
Right. So I prepped for this and I actually Googled. So the position that I was applying for was a junior PV installer, which is photovoltaic, solar. That's just, I don't know why they don't just say solar. So I Googled junior PV installer interview questions and people like were just talking about their interview process. And it was, I feel like he threw me some softballs. We start off with some chit chat, but he just said, so why Solar City? And I made it look like I was thinking for a second, like I hadn't been thinking about it for the past 3 days.
Ooh,
and then I just blew the pants
had.
off his butt.
Nice. What'd you lay on him? Here, I'll pretend to be the guy.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, how's it going today?
Good.
This chit chat has been swell. So why Solar City?
I guess if I really think about it, there are 3 reasons.
Whoa, this has to be off the cuff because you definitely looked up a little bit.
I did. I kind of rolled my eyes like, oh.
Did you sell it?
Oh, dude, yeah. So these are my 3 reasons, right? And they're all 100% true.
Wait, hold on. Can we go through the fake scenario again? Because now I want to try to picture it as you make the noise of sighing or whatever.
It's so much pressure. I can't do it again, man. It was a
no. You did it well the first time. You can replay it if, like we did on my fake yawn a couple episodes ago. Okay. So, Tom, how's it going today, man?
I'm great.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm glad to hear it. This chit chat has been swell. So why Solar City?
Well, I guess if I really think about it, there are probably 3 reasons. So my past woodworking and carpentry experience, I think, has prepared me for this job. It's a job I know that I can do. I'm already forgetting what all it is. I'm just gonna. It's.
Dude, you sold that in the second take so much harder than the first one. There was like a third sigh.
I feel more pressure now just knowing that everyone from San Diego is going to hear this.
Going back to San Diego.
Such a good song.
So your carpentry experience, because you were at a wood shop in Virginia.
Right. So I was saying like my experience, I'm like super familiar with power tools, yada, yada, yada. My second reason was that, what was it? Man, I had it scripted. I think it's just like, it's a job I know I can do. Okay. It's a job I know I can do. And the second reason was it's a job that I want to do. And I kind of told him that like, I'm looking.
Elon's your pop-up.
Mr. Musk. I told him like, I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for like a career, like a place that I can grow. And I think that, or I know, I don't think in this interview, I know,
hell yeah, dude.
that it's a company that I would be happy to work for an extended period of time. It's a company I want to be able to move up in and stay with, and it's a company I'd be proud to say that I work for, which I've had a lot of jobs. I'm not proud to say that, when they ask me where do I work, I'm like, oh God, I work, blah, blah, blah.
Oh God.
But the third one was like, and this is really like the meat of it. Like I really strongly believe that we need to get off of fossil fuels, and that, with the sun puts enough energy onto the earth in a day to power the entire world for a year. And to not take advantage of that is so stupid. And Solar City was one of the first companies that really came along, and like you could have solar panels before, but you had to buy them yourself from, China. It was at the time, really. You had to hope that your house was suitable for solar power, because not every house is. And then you had to find a company that could install them, and not everyone was familiar with it. And they're pretty expensive up front, so it was just really hard to have access to it. And Solar City was the first company that tried to make it easy for people, because the only way to really bring about huge change is to make it super easy for people to transition, but also you need to like make them more efficient and lower the cost to where it actually costs you more money to stay burning natural gas. Like it needs to be a no-brainer to switch to solar. And I think they were like the first company really leading the charge to do that. And it makes me just like really love them for that, And I said it a little more eloquently than that because I had it practiced, but I'm super excited. And he asked if I was afraid.
When do you find out?
Well, I already found out.
Wait, so did you get it?
I accepted the job around noon this morning.
Yes, dude.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I knew that I had it because this dude, we probably chatted for like 15 minutes before he even asked me questions. And he's like, so are you afraid of heights? And I had the perfect question for that, or the perfect answer, because I had thought about it on the way there. And I nailed it. And he was so like,
what'd you say?
Well, do you remember that big like maple tree in my front yard on my house on the east side?
Westyville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that tree was like built for climbing, and I used to be able to get like all the way to the top, which was like twice as tall as my 2-story house, you know? And I used to like sway that thing back and forth. And I like at one point had made a pulley system so I can like bring up snacks and books. And I used to like hang out at the top of this tree. And I talked about how like we had those dormer windows and we used to just like go and hang out on the roof. And I was like, man, I feel like I grew up on my roof. That was like my hangout spot. So if I'm working on roofs all day, I'll feel at home.
Oh, you fucking son. That's good.
Right. So he kept saying things like, well, when you start working or after I hire you. I was like, yeah, after you hire me, dude, I killed it. So the recruiter called me the interview was on Friday. The recruiter called me on a Monday and he offered me the job. So I was expecting an offer of like $12 an hour and I was going to counter with like 14 and then probably definitely have to work a second job. And I was already like, I had all these points I wanted to make. And he's like, so we're ready to offer you a position starting at $16 an hour with benefits, 2 weeks of paid vacation and 401k.
Whoa.
And I knew that I wasn't going to accept anything like right then and there. But I was just like, I'll call you tomorrow.
Right.
So I called him today. I countered with 1825 and I had this whole thing of like why I'm worth that and how, you know,
What'd
I plan on, well, he did what I expected him to. He's like, this is the only number I'm allowed to give.
Yeah. Did you take it?
I did.
Yeah.
So I took it.
So do you need a second job?
Maybe I might need to work like Saturdays or something somewhere. Because my bills end up being like, I think I worked it out to where I need to make $18 an hour, like just to pay my bills, including groceries.
What are your bills? Just your student loans, dude?
My student loans, which I haven't paid in 2 months, they want $590 a month for my private loans, and my federal loans are upwards of $400, but those are like they're not being repaid right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those private loans are a killer. I mean, I think I mentioned it before. I have like a 12.1% interest rate. And I've been paying for 3 years. I paid $14,000. And my balance now is $600 more than when I started paying.
Dude, fuck.
Yeah. So I don't want to pay him anymore. There's no point. But my mom co-signed. So they're going to, you know, threaten to like take her house and this and that. But like, dude, I can't afford it, man. I can't afford anything. I can't afford $20 right now. I owe my girlfriend like $600 from like groceries for the past 2 months, man.
And the interest on her loans are higher than the other fucking ones.
No, she has all federal loans.
I was trying to be funny, I guess. Oh. Like, of course, there's no interest on the money she gave you.
I'm not with it, man. I'm sorry. I miss all your jokes.
No, it's very possible. It just was fundamentally unfunny thing to say. Like, you don't have to apologize to me. I apologize to you.
I should have.
Obviously, she's the least ruthless person probably ever.
Right. But anyway, yeah, so I'm excited. I was really hoping that I would start like this coming Monday, because, I've been working at UPS, which has only been like 20 hours a week. But they've been giving a $250 a week bonus for seasonal work. But this week is the last week of that. So I'm going to be having like $300 paychecks if I don't get another job. And, there are all these things I have to do before I can start at Solar City, like a ton of paperwork. I need to take like a drug test tomorrow. And I took like a couple Advils a week ago. I'm pretty nervous about failing it. That was a joke.
We already made that joke last episode, Tom.
No.
Give these San Diegan monkey fans a chance.
No. So I don't.
We already made it. I said, "Do you expect to pass?" And you said, "Yeah, I hope so." We literally made that. Come on.
I have no idea.
Come on. The guy in the $5,000 suit. Come on.
You expect me to write my own jokes?
No, and then I'll say that I'm sorry for quoting a TV show, even the last episode I said I wasn't going to quote things anymore. So I also am sorry. We got to be better to the fans, man. No wonder they don't follow us on Twitter.
But anyways, I can't, if everything goes smoothly, which it already hasn't, they said the earliest I can start is the 30th. And I had to sign an NDA, and just out of habit, I put that I lived in Virginia still, and I didn't realize it until after I clicked submit, and it was like loading, and I was God damn it.
It's so easy to make those mistakes, though.
I know.
No joke.
Colorado's still so fresh. Every time I try to say like going into Denver, I say going into DC still, just because it's like I've lived outside of like both cities now. It's habit, man. It's like, you know, writing 2017 on your school papers on January 1st. It always, you write 2016, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember writing it on your checks. Although you don't have to do much of that anymore, do you? These whole digital age of... right. That was more of a problem from long ago. You know what I mean?
I signed up with a new bank, and they asked if I wanted to order checks, and I was like... No. Like, what are you talking about?
And you know, like when you're with your girlfriend and you're like, where do you want to go out to eat? And she's like, anywhere you choose. And you're like, oh, okay. So you choose. And she's like, no, I don't feel like it. And you're like, oh, come on. No, I still use checks to pay rent and stuff, to be honest.
Okay, I can see that. We're lucky to be able to do that online, but...
Yeah, I guess I could too, but it's nice to have them, I think.
Do you have direct deposit?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's just, I don't know. Every once in a while, I find myself glad I had a check, if only to check what my routing and bank account numbers are.
Oh, you got to have that memorized.
Oh, man. No, there's not enough room up there for that.
I do my best to memorize like every number, like credit card number, debit
a lot of
card,
numbers, Tom.
Account
number. A lot of numbers out there.
There's a whole lot.
I find myself having to count them.
Too
lame, dude. Too freaking lame, and I'm just so sorry, everybody.
I've told you my
Okay.
What?
Let me try to save this. Everyone should go Google the 100 jokes that shaped like the 100 in the 20th century or whatever. It's a really funny article, and it kind of shows you like the landmark jokes of every decade or whatever. I'm going to try to salvage myself by copying one of those instead of quoting a TV show or movie. And
sounds good.
Just annoying Tom most of the time.
Right.
What's the difference between peeping Tom and a pickpocket?
What, Pat?
A pickpocket snatches watches.
Wait, what?
What's the difference between a peeping Tom and a pickpocket?
And a pickpocket, a peeping Tom. Oh, dude, I kind of.
It's so dirty. That one was written in like the 40s.
Oh my God.
I think that's whip smart, dude. That thing had me rolling at work for like an hour.
So, what's the difference between jelly and jam?
No idea, Tom.
You can't into your.
Wow, dude, that took a turn. Holy mother of all that is holy, my goodness. You had a pretty raunchy one texting me today. We were talking about, I was going over what I was going to say about buying a bed by piece, which I should have done kind of over the last few months. But you said you were not a fan of a bedstand or a bed frame.
Bed frame.
Because I'll let you take it from here.
Just
you don't have to repeat it if you don't want, but it had to do with and I was taken aback.
No. That wasn't my intention. Obviously, it sounds that
way.
My
God. You, dude. What? No way. That was not my... That's like saying you're Bill Clinton and you didn't inhale even though you took the joint out of the other person's hand and smoked. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
It was just a tip. Doesn't count.
There was a cigar box. It got weird.
Anyways, this is taking a weird turn.
It is taking a weird turn. We focus on the Clintons in a very strange way.
Right? Oh my God.
Dating back to the dreams you've had about the secretary.
I tried my damnedest to make a wheelbarrow out of a index card, and it just didn't work out.
Well, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm just going to start saying like things that don't quite make sense when you throw non sequiturs out there.
Just slightly.
I think I
off-topic
misused non
cliches.
sequitur there. It's one of those comic strips I never quite got the hang of. But you did have something you wanted to focus on this episode. If there's anyone else clinging to the remnants of what might be on Reminiscent Episode 9, The Return of the Non-Reminiscence, you, Thomas Patrick Kelly, actually had a topic you wanted to cover.
Well, we'll see if it works out. I didn't know if it would actually turn into anything, but I wanted to try because it's something that I became pretty aware of like maybe 2 years ago. And it's just like my need to like customize everything, like personalize every single thing that I own. And when something is just like the way it's always been, you don't question it. But what made me
do you, man? You got to stay woke, bro.
I know. I'm trying, man. It's try my goal.
Vape Nation, bro.
My goal for 2017 is to stay woke AF.
Yeah.
So anyways,
well, you did say that during the New Year's resolution episode, so that means you're not that woke.
Right.
If you're just now trying to be woke.
So I started thinking about this when I got Virginia license plates on my old car. I got like the vanity plates, where it can say like whatever you want. And then I bought license plate frames, and they're like, there's like a black straight edge one on the back, and there's like a fake chrome one up front. And then my license plate was stay gold. And I started like, once I bought it, I started noticing other people's, and there are people who still have license plate frames from like the car dealership they bought their car from. And I'm just thinking like, how can you do that? Like, why would you leave that on there? It's just like a cheap advertisement for like someone else's, shady used car salesman business. Why would you leave that on your car, your thing? Like, I just feel like it doesn't belong to you. And then I started thinking like, they probably don't even notice. They don't even think about it. Like, they don't care at all. And it just, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
why would you?
Why would you what? Like, take it off?
Care.
I don't know, man. I think it's just like my personality. Like,
I have, my Aunt Colleen was going to get rid of her old car, and she was gracious enough to give it to me. And that was a gift I will never be able to repay her back for, at least in the near future. That was like 3-4 years ago. Anyway, I just kind of I went to the DMV and got the license plate and just screwed it in. So it's just a plate.
Right.
And I haven't really thought about it much after I put it on that day.
Well, I mean, like, there's no like frame around it. It's just a plate attached to the car.
Yeah, although I did pay a little extra in New Mexico. They have like Native American teal as opposed to just a yellow or a red.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Because they have like a yellow plate with red lettering that's pretty basic. Land of Enchantment is like the little nickname. But you can pay like $15 extra to get the teal version with yellow lettering, that with like a Zia in the middle. It's like a little symbol with 4 sticks coming out of all 4 sides of a circle.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool license plate. So I guess I did care enough to at least go for teal. I thought it matched the red car a little better. Or it looked a little cooler maybe.
Okay.
So I guess I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't care, because of course I care. I'm self-conscious as hell. But to go as far as to custom order frames for them, that seems... Although it is very telling. I mean, you take... I don't know. You're a peculiar young man. I mean, you've tatted your body in such a way that is... Like, you want people to know what you're about, maybe? I don't know. Like, what do you think that...
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely... not the most tattooed of my friends, but it's significant. Like, I have a full
Okay,
sleeve.
yeah, don't downplay to the audience how many tattoos you have on your body, though. It is above average.
A couple 100 hours in there. You get to a point where you stop measuring how many tattoos you have because...
They blend into each other a little bit.
My whole arm is basically one, but it's from my shoulder to my wrist, But yeah, I mean, there's that. I know you don't have any tattoos, right?
Nah.
Do you ever plan on it?
Probably not.
Would you, if you, me, and Zach, theoretical third member of Reminiscent, we're hanging out in Denver or St. Paul or Cleveland, and we're out, we're dancing, we're doing our thing, and I say, hey, let's go get 4 part tattoos. You wouldn't get the 7-Up symbol with the 4 instead of the 7 with us, a little one?
Dude, that is the worst tattoo idea.
No, it is
no
the best
way
tattoo
would I do
idea.
that.
You wouldn't do that?
No way, dude.
Would you get anything matching bro tats with us?
No, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not, though.
If I paid for it?
I don't know, dude. You know how much I love you, and Zach knows how much I love him. Isn't that enough?
You gotta show me, man. I'm self-conscious.
Dude, Tom, honestly, do you honestly need me to?
No.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I hope my actions speak louder than ink or Facebook posts. Or, I'm pretty bad about writing people happy birthday on Facebook, but I hope they know. I don't know. I try to actually engage them in conversation or visit them when they're coming through town, or I don't know.
I'm just.
It's just not my style, I guess.
No, that's fine. I just didn't know if there was anything that you would actually consider
So,
getting.
like, I'm not taking away, because I know you have a tattoo for your grandpa on your mom's side, right?
Sure.
I think that's a perfectly fine way to express grief. And I think it's a perfectly fine way to, bond with a family member when something like that happens, or just to display your permanent affection, or whatever. I don't know. But if I feel sad if a grandma dies, I just feel like that's enough, or maybe I want to keep people guessing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, people don't need to know my fucking life.
No, I feel
and you know my life because I want you to, and I let you. You know what I mean? Like, not that I let you, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you, Pat.
Like, if people want to know, they should just ask or come up to me on the street and say hello, and I'll try to, maybe they're friendly or whatever. I don't know.
No, I feel that, man.
And the concept of the 4 part tattoo being lame is just a separate issue because it's been established as the worst band name of all time. And to put that permanently on your body, it wouldn't even be funny, like, ironically. It would just be like a bad tattoo.
I don't know, man. I would get it happily.
Yeah, but at this point, you're like, why the hell not?
Yeah, no, that's definitely not a first tattoo that you get.
I mean, it would be in the 30s for you, I feel like.
Maybe more. I don't know. I mean, I have tattoos that I didn't even know what I was getting tattooed on me until it was done. I have.
I would say not many people feel that way.
Well, it was an artist that was a good friend of mine, and she was hooking it up, and it's a really cool tattoo. It's a LOWL, which is a laugh out loud owl, and
there's an LOL.
LOWL. I'll put a link in the show notes. It's pretty cute. I love it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at the point where it's like,
well, there's that good or something corporate lyric where they're like, I'd paint my body till all my skin was gone or whatever and woke up in a car from the album Leaving Through the Window. I get when people just like, why not? You have one life to live and why not just go for it?
Right.
But I don't know. I just seems like I could buy sandwiches with that money.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I mean, I was getting tattooed when I was making like over $20 an hour at the coffee shop. And since I quit that job, I've only had one more tattoo done, and it was done on a trade. So they've.
What'd you trade for? What?
Well, at one point, I'm like the audio guy, so people just give me their like unwanted speakers. And at one point, I had 3 surround sound systems, and I gave one to my artist, and he did a tattoo of my dog on me. So.
Nice.
Pretty good deal. I mean, for sure.
So you're the ultimate customizer in the sense that you've customized your epidermis.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't? I mean, I feel like you're way more unique these days by not having a tattoo.
Maybe.
But I mean, there's like, do you put any thought into like the home screen or like icon arrangement of your cell phone or anything?
Let's see. My computer right now, the one they came with is not so bad. The one on my phone on the outside is a picture from Instagram that I took in Erie. It's of kind of in Lake Cliff when you go back down to the boat launch and you can see the sunset. It was a good sunset that night. And that's
Nice.
what it is on the inside too, I guess.
Okay. But like you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So like your apps, like I've seen people that like have never moved an app, and it's like all the things they use are on like the third page, and to me it just seems like fucking crazy. Like all mine,
Yeah, that's insanity. I only ever have one. I never have a swipeable amount of pages.
Okay, I mean,
unless I'm in a new city and I need a new app for that weekend or something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because like what I do is, I use my phone with my right hand, so I put like my left hand. So I put like the most important things on the bottom left because I use my thumb, and that's going to be closest proximity. And I put like way too much thought into it, and my home screen only has 3 out of the 5 rows filled. And everything is in like nice folders by category.
See, I don't actually use the folders. I delete apps and re-download them a lot, but I always have whatever the regular amount is on the front one screen. I might combine the news apps I have because I get push notifications from my job from the local TV stations and whatnot.
Right.
But I never open them, so they're all in a group. But I've never like. If it takes 2 clicks to get something that I need regularly, then I feel like I'm wasting time or something.
Okay. I'm going to send you a screenshot of my front screen so you can see how beautiful it is.
Okay.
Send me one of yours. I'm curious. I'll put them in the show notes too. So this one of the first podcasts I ever listened to, Cortex, they talked for like 2 entire episodes about home screens, and for some reason I just found it super fascinating.
So I don't even have the Facebook app like we talked about earlier.
Right.
I just don't even have it because I feel like I don't. Well, because I didn't have Messenger for the longest time. So, I was just logging on to the desktop version of Facebook anyway and getting what I needed out of it.
Okay.
So to me, it was just like a waste of space for me personally.
Well, I go through periods of deleting Facebook just because it gets to the point. It
annoys the hell out of you.
Well, it gets to the point where I click the icon without even thinking about it, and I'm like, how did I even get on Facebook? Like, it's just it's crazy.
Like you'll notice my 3 bottom rows are like I might use a few on the top 4th row, but if that bottom 3 rows are kind of a constant rotation of whatever's happening in my life in that month or whatever. And they're never in a folder. They're always available, where my thumb swings readily.
Right.
But in terms of customizing, I mean, I don't know. I used an Instagram photo. I don't really Facebook that much. I don't really Twitter that much. I'd take a nice a photo of somewhere I am if I think it's worthy of Instagram. Like, it's never a meal. I'm always at a national park with my dad or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't really use social media that much, even though it might be because that's part of my job, though. Working at the news station is crafting social posts to get news out there. And so I don't really enjoy doing it in my free time,
Right. Do you mind if I put this in the show notes for people to check out?
Yeah, I'll take another look at it after the show. I don't think there's any incriminating evidence or anything.
Okay. So here's my questions, and this is
that was supposed to be kind of chummy, but whatever.
This is me being overly critical, and I'm not judging you because your phone is your thing, but I could clear three things off of your home screen that you can put in both the control center or have in your widgets if you swipe to the left. And to me, it's like, do you need a calculator on the home screen? Swipe up and it's right there. You know what I mean? Like, clear up some space.
If I'm at a restaurant and I want to calculate an appropriate tip, then I don't have to swipe anywhere. I can just click the calculator.
Okay. So you're...
I use it all the time.
Okay. Yeah, no, I totally get that.
To me, I try to use 20 in my head.
Sure.
And do the mental math. But if it's bad, I still want to give him 15, which is what, the lowest of the range? I don't know. Yeah, I never skip on the tip. If I give you the 15, then you have f***ed my day up.
Okay.
If I give you 18, maybe I was in a bad mood. But usually, if it's mental math, you're probably getting something decent.
Okay, gotcha.
But anyway, I want my calculator there just in case, so I don't, it's not obvious I'm swiping around on my phone trying to find it to, spite somebody with math or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want the waiter to see me fumbling with my phone.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just me personally, I want to have the front screen as clear as possible, even if it means one more click. And I downloaded a lot.
No way, dude. Time is money, motherfucker. Why would you keep swiping around? Why would you put yourself in a position to continue to swipe?
it's grouping things. To me, it makes more sense to group it. And also,
I used to be that way, making folders on like my Windows desktops and stuff. But then I realized I was just creating more work for myself.
Right.
But I can see like if you have a little OCD, which I'm not sure if you do or not, but how it could be pleasing to have like a clean space or something.
Right. I mean, I also use I have like a third-party weather app that I actually paid money for.
But why?
I had a third-party alarm.
Why?
Well, the weather app is pretty hilarious. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like exploring some like cool third-party apps. Like there's a calculator that I like to use because you could like customize where the buttons are on the calculator, and I don't know. That's just me, I guess. You can get a lot more out of some third-party apps.
Yeah, I think you and I like I don't know, like I feel like you get some joy out of like for me, I'm not putting down using a third-party app, I guess, because like for you, like I feel like the iPhone is such an amazing tool, right?
Right.
That I throughout the years you've bought things off Amazon or certain seasons of things, or like you've tinkered. I feel like you're a tinkerer and you're more curious than I am about certain things, maybe. For me, it's like, well, the alarm has woken me up plenty of times, so I'm good with it.
Right.
Or like the weather app. To me, it's just like it would be not worth the time invested for the payout to get a little bit of better weather in terms of the research and the downloading and the possibly paying. You know what I mean? To me, it seems like a waste of time. But I can see the appeal of like wanting to create a world for yourself that you studied and you have made, like, for a fact you're getting the best version of the product you can get, right?
Right.
I can see both lines of thought. I guess either I'm lazy, I don't know.
Well, there's one thing that I am the total opposite on, and again, I never realized how different I was than some other people than after I started dating Megan, because it's like the only area of my life where I just take what I get and don't even think to change it at all.
What's that?
It's food. So like,
interesting.
If I get something, never in my life have I reached for salt or like anything to put on it. And to me, it just never even like crossed my mind. Like when my mom made food, we just like ate it. I don't know. Like I don't think she's ever been like, do you want salt? Like the only thing I've ever put on anything is like ranch dressing on a salad, or like maybe if the chicken was a little dry or something. But Megan and I, we have these like oven pizzas that we like, and she'll chop up tomatoes and she'll put onions, garlic on it, and like, I mean, she'll spend 20 minutes customizing this like oven pizza, which is supposed to be easy. That's like the point of it, and
you're right.
Everything that she makes, like anything that's out of the box, gets turned into like something completely different. And I've started doing it like a little bit. But that's like the one thing that I've never thought to like change. I take what I'm given and that's it. And I've never thought like, oh, this could use this.
Well, I definitely salt the hell out of the things I make. I can tell you that. I would never touch my mother's food. Even though she was, bless her heart, a very Irish, chicken and potatoes type, but maybe salt it up a little bit, but usually don't touch it. The point I was thinking about when you were talking about Megan was, I think, not a New Year's resolution, but something I would like to be able to get better at as I age, is not rushing through the activity I'm doing to get to the next one. It sounds like in college, I probably would have blown through the process of a microwave personal pizza or something, right? Or whatever you're talking about, like the box. Blown through it to eat and rush out the door to get to some other shit where it wouldn't matter if I was 5 minutes earlier or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she probably finds a little bit of joy in just taking a deep breath, cutting up a little bit of tomato, cutting up a little bit of onion, adding her own little personal flair. Right. And when it comes out, enjoying it a little bit more than she would have. And it may waste, maybe that 20 minutes of her day would have otherwise been spent just laying watching an extra episode or something on Netflix. But instead, the meal was a little bit more love was involved or something. And this is a half-baked idea as I say it, but I guess I've been, now that we talk about like customizing and what do you spend time on, like throughout the day, even with something as little as your phone, like, where do you allocate your time and where should you, I guess, is kind of what I'm starting to think about now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I think that's kind of beautiful what she does with the pizza. I wish I had the patience to do that instead of just like making sure the chicken is technically cooked and then just like emptying a bottle of hot sauce on it and just ingesting. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like, when I grew up, I ate eggs a lot, even though for some reason they always really upset my stomach. But I would literally just crack the eggs, whip them up, and scramble them and eat them just like totally plain, like not a single. I didn't even salt it. I didn't even know that you were supposed to like salt eggs. I just like ate straight up eggs.
Yeah, she takes a little pepper, and I've never seen anything like it because my brother would like go 50-50 ketchup egg when he was a kid. But I mean, he was just a little kid. But he just so when I moved into Mexico and people started putting salsas and hot sauces with their eggs and stuff, it's like, ooh-ee, I like this. But yeah, I'd never heard of the plain thing.
At this point, now I'm scrambling these eggs. I'm putting salt in it. I chop up garlic, maybe a couple onions. I've been doing this thing where, so my friend used to make the best scrambled eggs, and there was something about right before they were done cooking, he would throw cream cheese on it, and it was supposed to like, his explanation was that it stopped the cooking like immediately, like it wouldn't cook any further beyond that point. And I've been just like throwing globs of cream cheese on my eggs, and it's not doing what they did for him. But so I have like cream cheese, and I'll grate a bunch of cheddar, and I'll put some in while it's cooking, and then some afterwards. And we watch like a lot of like Food Network shows, and like they're always like, "Oh, you've really elevated this dish," and that's always like a joke. Like, man, I really elevated these scrambled eggs, right? Just a little.
I wish someone would tell me that at any point in my day about anything I've ever done. You've really elevated this dish. That would just make me feel complete, I think, for a little while.
Right.
That's just a nice fucking thing to say to somebody.
It is.
You've really elevated this dish. Like, fucking thanks, dude. Like, really, thank you. I was trying to elevate this dish.
Have you seen that, it's like a collection of photos where people take like, quote unquote poor people food, and they try to play them like fancy dishes. Like there was like a corn dog that was propped up, and they took the little ketchup and they like smeared it with a spoon and like placed like macaroni and cheese nicely around it. Have you ever seen that?
I have not, but that sounds awesome.
It is so funny, man.
I think there's something to be said also talking about your girlfriend doing stuff with the pizza out of the box. I mean, I don't know. I think there's something to be said for the need not, want not, making whatever situation you're in fun. I know that's not the direction you were taking that, but why not spread your mac and cheese eloquently around your corn dog? That sounds fucking fun. You know what I mean?
See, I don't get the whole, I don't know. I don't get the food thing. Like we were watching, there's a really awesome documentary series called Chef's Table, and it's like the highest rated chefs in the world. And they're like putting leaves on the plates with tweezers. And to me, it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, throw that shit in a pile and let me eat it, like,
yeah. Although, there's those Facebook videos, sometimes I torch them, but I kind of saw one I liked the other day where like maybe in other cultures, they value eating as more of a social, like, perhaps in the U.S., or North America, there's more of a, let's just get it out of the way, even if I do it solo in my car, so I can feed the machine and keep running.
Right,
you know what I mean? Whereas, whatever the Italy or Greece or whatever, they sit down with a bot. You know what I mean? Just make sure they're doing it with somebody so they can have a conversation and actually kind of something like that. Anyway, but I'm kind of with you. Like, I just gotta, keep the train running, and let's on to the next one.
Yeah, I feel like eating is,
which I guess I want to change, but I don't know. Eating, I don't know. To me, it's not that important.
To me, it's like a chore, man. Like if I didn't have to
it's
eat,
something you have to do.
You get so much more done.
Yeah. It's true. I feel that. Plus, I've learned to, like, sometimes like I can eat disgustingly fast, And I hate when people notice it. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just, I could sit there and like very politely dab the corners of my mouth for however long people want me to eat or something. But I'd rather just get that over with. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll take another breath in between bites if you'd like. But who's really enjoying this? Like a glass of wine might make it better, but that's because we're getting drunk, you dumb motherfuckers. Like, oh, sit down, enjoy the meal. It's like, okay, I enjoy wine, but in a different setting. Or the drive home, you crazy lunatic. I don't know. I guess the romantic vibe of, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to pull a narrative out of what we've been kind of drifting in and out of over the last half hour. Yeah, I don't know. I just found it very nice, the little note about your girlfriend and the pizza.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she really elevates those tombstone pizzas.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, like, I'll be living with Jesse soon, and little things like that sound like, I don't know. A friend of mine was talking about just making the day-to-day stuff. Not trying to make it anything in particular, just you begin to notice that it becomes a pattern, and you do it over time and things like that. So we've been dating for 3 years, but we've never lived together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've lived with Megan almost the entire time.
Yeah, which is vastly different than our situation for sure. So things like, hell, just living with Jesse, I might do different things with my phone after seeing how, what's interesting is just seeing how other people do shit, like with having roommates. And, I'm not glued to this way of having my phone set. You know what I mean? If I see someone else doing something more efficiently than I know how, I'll change my ways,
Right.
That's half the fun. So I enjoy meeting people and being, having conversations, but it doesn't have to be over food. That's point two I wanted to make out of this was food's fucking stupid, dude.
If only we can make that the title of the show.
Right. The people on the deathbed don't regret what they did do, but what they didn't do. And they didn't go to the island. Use tweezers on leaves. Waste your life.
Speaking of food, you had something written down about Cincinnati Chili.
Yeah, let's throw something in about the little Cincinnati, which might be my future home.
Yeah,
it is more of a sauce than you might be thinking of, a chunky, spicy, something that you might brag about having a good recipe for, right? Regular chili, unless you're in New Mexico, then it's the type of pepper, and it's way different. Chile, right? Green chili. Like with an E at the end?
Yeah, Cincinnati Chili, because
it's more of a sauce. It's very fine.
Yeah, very fine.
A little darker. There's a little different set of spices. Not quite as spicy. A little more, I don't know. But there's this chain called Skyline, I guess, which is the fast food version. But there's a thing they have called a three-way, which sounds nasty to begin with. And it looks like frickin' diarrhea also. But they have like boiled spaghetti noodles. So like you're having spaghetti, and then they put on this sauce, like this chili, and then it's 1 part noodles, 1 part the chili, and 1 part just cheese, man.
Oof.
Like grated cheddar, and it is fucking incredible. It is just it again. It looks not much different than it does when it comes out, right?
Oh, God, dude.
And some people think it's gross just based on how it looks, but I think it's kind of nice. And I don't know, it's not all from that chain, obviously, but there's like a good chili dog at a state fair or something. Maybe not from a state fair, but I don't know. There's something about that kind of chili that is just kind of like, I'm going to wipe when I'm done eating this item, as opposed to after every bite and just look away if you're not pleased with what's happening. Because it tastes kind of good. I don't know. Anyway, I was wondering if you had an opinion on the matter. Because that might be my home soon, so I'm wondering whether or not if I should try to defend it or just be real with what it is, which is kind of a nasty-looking thing.
Well, Kyle and Kylie, who are going to be doing the video games Nintendo show of sorts, they live in Cincinnati. Oh, cool. Yeah, and when we were driving to Colorado cross country, we stayed with them, and he brought up the Cincinnati Chili, and I thought I had an idea of what it was because there was a place called Hard Times Cafe, not too far from where I worked in Arlington, and they had a thing called a Frito chili pie, which was basically Fritos, like the chips.
Yeah, like chili pie, like a walking taco, but it's in a bowl. Or something, and they eat
so
it.
just like
they had that in New
chips
Mexico, I
and
think.
chili and then cheese, and they had a Cincinnati chili, which I liked because it was the spiciest. But I didn't know that like Cincinnati chili, like the spaghetti was like an element of that. So I haven't had that. But I do like the spice. Of it.
It's definitely a different taste. I'm a fan. Maybe my mom has a recipe that she used to make. I'll make some up next time we're together. When we go have that beach fire at your dad's house in New York or something, we'll have some Cincinnati chili.
Sweet.
So if you had to take a couple nuggets from this episode, just to reiterate to these San Diego and Monkey fans, what are we spitting out into the world this week, Tom?
Some updates on our jobs and the fact that I think way too much about insignificant things, but when it comes to food, probably the most important thing in your life, I don't give a shit.
But that's what makes you you, right? Yeah. It's all a matter of how you feel you should spend your time, and if it's floating your boat, that's probably good, unless you're real racist, then change how you are.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I
was getting a little loosey-goosey, hippy-dippy there for a little bit, and then I realized you could do a lot of destructive things with your time. Don't just do anything with your time. That'd be inappropriate and irresponsible.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was thinking about it. I wanted to bring it up because I have like bumper stickers all over my car. I built a bike from scratch that like had to look like no one else's.
Yeah, but that's fun. I like that,
man. I mean, I just I don't know where you landed on that. Like, if you thought too much about it, like, because I'm to the point where it's not even like, oh, if I come across a bumper sticker I like, I'll buy it. Like, I'll go out seeking them, I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know. I'm a fucking fraud, dude.
You're so normal.
I'm the worst. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm like kind of bullshitty Kerouac on the road type that if I'm like in a place and I see a thing, like I'll buy it and I'll use it and be like, I don't want to learn. I don't know. I want to be kind of like, I use the internet for so many things every day and it's how I get paid. So I'm full of shit. But like, part of me wants to experience the world through off the screen, I guess, type. Fuck, I don't know. I'm fucking spouting bullshit as I make this up because again, I get paid by working on the internet. So this is all, I'm a fraud, but like real experiences. And, so if I have this one set of plastic dresser drawers from college that has a set of stickers that I have some pride in, that has Santa Fe Brewery and the Rally to Restore Sanity from Jon Stewart. And DC a few years ago.
I was there.
There was, I don't know, we camped out for that. I don't know. So I guess there's part of my vibe that goes in that way, but again, it's all bullshit. It's all a facade. Like I said, I don't like tattoos. I like my friends and I like my family. And, if you have a second and you're nice and you want to come say hi, please do. That's pretty much what I want to spend my time on, I guess.
So much more authentic than I am.
Sharing ideas. It's not, I don't know. It could be not authentic. I don't fucking know, dude. There are people that I will judge immediately and just not like also and not really give them a second chance. So it's not like, you know what I mean? This is all a fucking act, dude. I'm fucking bullshit. No, for real. I apologize to those who I've judged inappropriately too soon. Everyone's just trying their hardest.
Are they?
Unless you're real racist, then just quit being the way you are. But, I think, now is the time to share ideas and, really dig in. So nothing I'm going to say hasn't been said before in a better way. So sometimes you wonder what the hell's the point. Just to leave these. Sorry, San Diego, but it's probably sunny and nice. So go to the beach. Fuck off. It doesn't matter what I say. So you probably have a nice day regardless of how this podcast ends. Sorry, man.
No, that's all right. That was
So I don't know. It's tough, man. Maybe, steaming. Really, no, not even steaming. Maybe I don't get a tattoo because it would mean it's like that'd be pretty hardcore. I don't know. Maybe just remain non-committal and never really have an opinion on anything, and no one will ever get mad at you or something. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a good way to float by.
Dude, at the past 2 jobs I've had, I've freaked out and gotten mad, and people couldn't tell if I was joking just because my sense of humor is so dry, and they've said that to me. They're like, I honestly can't tell. And I'm sitting there like this tortured soul, like, how do I let them know? Because you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody really has seen me mad unless you're real close to me, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, these people at work, they're like, I don't know, man. Is he like? What do you think? Is he really mad or not? You know, he's like, no, he's laughing. He's laughing. I'm just sitting there like, I hate everything. You know,
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. That's
no, that's the thing, though, dude. It's just like, you motherfuckers don't even work on the spreadsheet anyway. So we're all here with the wild goddamn with the fucking spreadsheet. La-di, frickin' da, you know, like. No, you're all going to drag me into that meeting tomorrow, and you're going to put me on the spot, and you're going to fucking call me out. This is some fucking bullshit. You should have sent me an email a week ago, you sons of bitches. You know what I mean? And it's so over the top. They think I'm putting on a show or something. And, oh, God. But really, I'm just
pissed.
Yeah, really. It's happened to me twice now. 2 different jobs, 2 different sets of people have just been like, I can't tell. It's like, really? I've just swore at you like a lot, you know? How could I not be any more clear? It's like, oh, no, he's laughing. Look at, oh, God. It's like, oh, am I trapped in this weird fucking, like, maybe I died at birth or something, and this has all been just a sick, twisted dream. You know what I mean? Maybe we died on that road trip or something. I don't know. Maybe the gatekeeper was that fat former trucker at the hotel, and that was our entrance into purgatory. We never actually made it back onto the road, Tom. Anyway, this took a weird turn, so we might as well call it a day before it gets any stranger,
I don't want to
guess.
do what we did last time. I don't know if you noticed, we never did our music segment. Totally forgot.
You want to switch it into a what we're into type thing, or you want to stay on music?
Wait, what?
Because I have a thing that I've been working on lately, which is a direct ripoff from the book Silver Linings Playbook, but I've been working my way back through my high school syllabus, right? So I've made it through a few books, and I want to give a quick thumbs up and thumbs down to a few of the books that I didn't read at the time.
Okay.
Things They Carried, thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs up. I didn't realize it at the time.
That was the only one I read at the time, actually.
Really? Well, that book was recommended to me by Mr. Bischoff, and I read it, and like immediately after I was done, I was like, dude, this book sucks, man. Like, why would you recommend that? But like, it hit me like 3 or 4 years later, like the meaning.
Yeah.
Now I really do like it.
I think it was because I was 18 at the time, and I was like, fuck, dude, this dude was the age I am now. You know what I mean? When this was happening to him. And that kind of that was pretty fucking heavy, dude.
But was it really happening, right?
You know, I was at a party over winter break. Someone asked me that, and I realized I haven't read it in so long. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. I just remember liking it. You know, if I have a conversation with you at a party, just try to try to poke holes through everything, because I have just the party version of most topics nailed down at this point. You know what I mean? And if I don't, I'll you could convince me to go watch Must Love Dogs starring John Cusack, because I saw it in an episode of a TV show the other day and didn't get the joke. So I would go watch it enough so I could like at least hang with people talking about Must Love Dogs at the next party I'm at. The joke was like, it's actually a surprisingly decent movie, and Cusack was just doing the best with the material he was given with, you know. And I was like, I guess that's all you need to know about the movie,
right?
According to the TV show Man Seeking Woman. Anyway, so I'm going to give a meh to Slaughterhouse-Five. I don't know why they would make high schoolers read that shit. There's no way we would have gotten it. I thought it was pretty good. You know, nothing too far in either direction. I'm going to say Catcher in the Rye was... Luckily, it was short, because I just really don't... I've tried it twice. I finished it this time. I guess it's like how many emotions a high schooler can go through in a weekend, you know? Which our story of our road trip last episode is kind of telling you that. I guess it's like a good encapsulation of like how fucking crazy you can seem at that age, but I just don't really care for that. You know, some people love that book. I guess I just didn't really like it.
I just found the DVD of the short film we did on that.
Oh yeah, you know, I actually remember that movie, every scene going back, because now that I actually read the book, I was like, oh, we butchered this thing.
I gotta get
like
that.
We focused heavily
somehow
on the prostitute scene, just because that must have been hilarious to us at the time.
Because it was our friend Jake dressed up as a woman.
Yeah, he's like, do you want to have sex with me for money? Like, which is essentially our understanding, and I guess that's really what it is, but it's, you know, we didn't know what else to say, because none of us were getting laid on the reg, I guess.
Or at all.
Or at all. Right, exactly. So, I think that's it. There might have been one more. But anyway, I'm slowly working back through just to see. So did I have any I recommended?
check out Watership Down again. We had to read that going into freshman year. I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I think I liked that one. I don't think I totally skipped that one. I like those adventure ones. Dude, you know what I fucking realized the other day? Is that the Redwall books existed. I was reminded of that by, I think, one of the Coon
Oh, my
twins,
God, dude. I
Jordan
used to
Coon,
read
maybe?
all those.
Yeah, like, so you go through life and you're like, have opinions about Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all that, and then you fucking forget that Jocks dude, Brian Jocks, wrote like fucking 25 Redwall books. And those Redwall books, at least the two best ones, are fucking dynamite for like child fantasy reading.
I forget what happened, but I do remember.
It's basically Watership Down, but they wear clothes and there's more types of animals, I think.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's more like medieval vibe, maybe. But that shit was like I don't know. There's so much stuff out there to consume. It's hard to keep up, man.
Yeah.
Like, if there's 20 Redwall books, how am I supposed to have time to go watch season 1 of Atlanta? Because apparently, Donald Glover's great. Who doesn't love Donald Glover, but anyway.
So are you not going to do a music suggestion?
Oh, my bad, dude. My bad. You caught me on a day in which I was a little tired, I guess, after work. So kind of a grim view of things. Why don't you go first?
John. Sure. I think the last time we talked about it, you had the book recommendation, so I don't think I have anything to follow up.
Oh, the Pizza Bomber book. Yeah, that shit was dope. And it's only because I'm from Erie.
Right. I don't know if you listened to Direct Hit, but that was a little more bombastic. I've been listening to Moose Blood a lot lately. I actually got to interview their producer, Beau Burchell, about their most recent album, and they have their song Honey is like their big single, and it's like
Moose Blood?
Moose Blood, yeah. It's like the mix of my dreams, man. It's such a catchy song. Like, the verses are like super chill and kind of laid back, and then the chorus is like so catchy, and it's like so full. Like, the bass kicks you right in the nuts, and it's great, man. It's a really good song. It's
okay. Sorry, I'll admit I missed the first band, but I will hit them this week. I fucking promise.
No worries. But Moose.
The first one was what?
Direct Hit.
Direct Hit and Moose Blood.
Yeah, so I think Moose Blood might be more up your alley unless you're in like a really kind of intense, summery kind of vibe. Then you might want to listen to Direct Hit. But Moose Blood's killing it. They're from the UK. And,
I'll give them both a try, dude.
Sweet.
I'm sorry I didn't earlier. It's been a busy. I'm an asshole. I think mostly is what people have realized from this episode. So I think I'll go with. I was watching Scrubs back through for like the 8th time. And every once in a while I'll hit a song that I didn't realize I liked when I hear it or whatever. Because half the reason that show is good, I think, is because there's songs that I like in it or whatever.
Definitely.
But it's by the band The Parkas, and it's called Giants in My Field. It's on Spotify, I think. But The Giants in My Field by The Parkas starts off like it's bad audio, but then it picks up. It's just part of the thing. Yeah, it's a nice little good harmonies. It's a swell little ditty, and it's I'm trying. You know how we talked in one of the episodes where not to try new things if you're trying to find the sense of normalcy or whatever. I'm zipping back through Scrubs while I settle this bed and plane ticket business. So awesome. you know.
I'm excited to listen to it. This is kind of fun. I just saw today that Simple Plan is doing a 15-year tour of no helmets, no pads, just balls. And that was like one of the first bands, and we've talked about this too. This is one of the first bands that I ever thought was like punk rock, And my sister introduced them to me in like 5th grade or something. And she said if they tour through Denver, she'll fly in from Southern California to go see them with me. And
she's in Southern California now?
Yeah, she's in San Clemente right now. Actually, with one of Greg's cousin's kids, our like ex-step second cousin or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like a really sick, like huge house, like a bit south of LA.
Wait, like dating?
No. I
mean, you're technically not blood, but
right. But yeah, so she just moved in there, and apparently her house is like enormous and super cheap for that area.
Cool.
Hi, Caitlin. I know she's listening.
Hi, Caitlin.
So yeah, I hope they're coming through Denver, which it seems like most bands do. But my sister,
Sounds nice.
She made the point that like we've never really done anything like crazy together. Like we kind of both had our separate lives and just had like our life at home together. So
yeah, you should, man. My sister and I think are closer. We've grown closer through the years and
yeah.
have partied together. And there was the one when Weezer went on their Memories tour where they played Blue and Pinkerton in succession. We went and saw them in Chicago and Vegas, and it was our Christmas and birthday presents to each other that year, you know.
Awesome.
So I would highly recommend, dude. There's nothing wrong with getting closer to family. I mean,
right.
As you age, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, definitely. I mean, we've had a good relationship. We've just never like really hung out together, I don't think.
You should. I am all for it, dude. She's a nice lady, and you're a nice fella. And I think,
well, thanks, man.
You know, it's never a bad thing. I think to look back, you know, through a different lens, and you know, maybe you'll realize something about your mom you didn't know, or just reflect a little bit, and that's probably healthy for the soul.
Right.
Chicken soup for the Kelly soul.
Speaking of that, hi mom. I know she's listening
Hello. Too. Sorry for everything.
I sent you the picture of the wiseman you broke, right?
Yes.
Dude,
and I'm still sorry.
I'll have to put that in the show notes. It was so funny because I don't think she knew we talked about that, and then she just sent me the picture of the black wiseman with a hole out of it, like taken out of its head.
I'll get her a new one off Amazon. My God. Actually, I can't right now. I'm broke, so. No, it's part of the gives a character or something.
Right. So.
Anyway,
that
back at it again with the white vans next week.
Yeah.
And you'll have we'll be trucking along. We'll come up with like I really enjoyed doing the road trip stuff last week. I wonder if there's another tale from beyond that we can dig up, perhaps.
My mom's 50th birthday party?
Anything but that, actually.
We'll figure it out.
It's actually not that bad. It's only bad when you mix in together what Zach and I did both, I think. It's still pretty bad.
Well,
I'm surprised you still talk to either of us, to be quite frank. Like, we've just abused your patience over the years, I think.
I mean, if I met you guys that day, it might have been different. But,
yeah.
You know, there's a pretty good picture of Zach and I sleeping in the tent together, and he's just
the eyes are almost in the back of his head, actually. But perhaps another day. Unlikely.
Perhaps.
Because, that one's been buried pretty deep. But we'll uncover a few of the DC road trips or something as we move forward. We'll give Zach a ring, and we'll finally get him on. How about that? That'll be our goal, is to get him involved.
Definitely. But until then, you can tweet
Moose
at
Blood
the show.
and Direct Hit, huh?
Moose
you were
Blood
going into
Direct
your thing. I'm sorry, I messed up your flow. Go for it, baby.
That's all right, man. But until then, you can tweet at the show. We are on Twitter @_reminiscent FM. Elemental FM is the network that is bringing you this show, as long as many others in the future. It is a network I'm in the process of starting up. You'll be hearing more from it throughout the year. That is @elemental_FM on Twitter. We're working on getting a Facebook page started, but right now that's the best way to get in touch with us. You probably don't have much to say, but just say hi, say you suck, say your show sucks, give up. Anything, man. We just want to hear. We have people from all over the country and a few in Canada listening, and I just want to know who the fuck you are, because it's kind of weird.
Please, dear God, you sadistic bastards.
You're just listening in like a peeping Tom.
Which is your name.
Right. Actually, I used to have a blog. I was dabbling in poetry, and it was X Peeping Tom X was my username.
The early 2000s were a lovely time for all of us.
Right.
All right.
Well, I guess until next week.
Indeed.
That's all we got.
I love you all, or most of you, a lot of you, and I love you too, Tom.
All right. Love you, Pat. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.